Well, hello, and welcome back to Dino Minecraft. Today I was thinking of exploring some of the sand dimension, and also build our first dinosaur enclosure, which is going to start off with an aquarium, because I think that's something we can manage. So here's our DNA, so I'm just going to put that into the cultivator to turn them into eggs. And pretty soon we're going to have our own dinosaurs roaming about. Well, in water anyway. It won't be going anywhere. I think this is also the only dinosaur that roams free in the world. So after today's episode, any other dinosaurs will be entirely new to this world. But I think there are some of these down near the stream. But this is mostly a test of concept, you know? By the way, to make this journey easier, I've also made these gold feather diamond boots, which give reduced fall damage and higher jumping as well as faster speed to help us cover a little bit more terrain in the endless desert. However, before we're able to make the aquarium, what we're going to need is glass, and for that, we're going to need plenty and plenty of sand. Actually, building the aquarium will be closer to the end of the episode, but in this start bit here, we're just going to go travel around in the desert a bit and collect some sand and see what we can find. However, when we do get around to more dinosaurs in this series, we also can make Pokeballs, so we can transport entities to wherever we'd like them to be. So, like for example, if we ever wanted to move to the desert biome to set up a base, we would be able to do that. Because the desert biome looks quite nice like this. Ooh, there's even this little oasis here. You know, and we could just set up like, I don't know, like a beach house kind of a thing. Like an oasis dinosaur park. And we're still following medieval themes and stuff, so it might be like a desert castle or something, or a temple. Although in a moment, I'm going to leave the desert dimension so I can put some sand in a furnace, so that maybe it can be cooking while we're gone. But I don't actually know if, I don't know if dimensions can still have furnaces running when you're not in the dimensions, but we'll see. Without this desert dimension, it would be so hard to build an aquarium. Like, so hard. Because I also have to sift all this sand for fossils and stuff so we can make DNA and have dinosaurs. I'm not sure how anyone has ever actually beaten these dinosaur mods without something like this. It boggles the mind, really. Because most options could be like installing a mod that auto-farms certain resources, but that's not really fun. At least with this, it still keeps the collection of resources simple and how it is in vanilla, but it provides an endless source, you know? So I'm thinking of building the aquarium to the left of where I am right now. By the way, the biome generation mod I'm using mainly for how the terrain generates is lithosphere. I would highly recommend it. It makes the world extra flat though, but you know, it provides a lot of space for building stuff. So, shout out. I'm still thinking about posting at some point all the mods that I'm actually using for this series, if you're still interested in that. But I don't know when I'll do that. So, the dinosaur that we're going to be making an aquarium for is a sturgeon. However, before we get to that, I'm just going to make some compasses and lodestones so we can explore the desert a bit first while we're waiting for all that glass to be smelted. As well as making some of those Pokeballs I mentioned earlier so we can test them out somewhere along the way. This will also be the first dinosaur that I hatch with this mod, so I think those are like fish eggs. I think those need to be used in water or something. But I don't really know, but we'll see. Actually, I don't know if I have to feed them or not, because the wild ones don't seem to need to eat anything to survive, and I don't know if I need to feed mine so they don't die. I think some of the dinosaurs in this mod need to eat, so we'll see. There we go. And this chest is to keep all the compasses, because the endless desert is endless, so yeah. Could be bad if we get lost. Oop, they've come to say hello. Well, hello there, dead decaying corpses. I don't think they're following me. There we go. Now we can start our adventure. So anyway, what we're looking for is some desert structures, because there's temples, there's pyramids, there's all manner of things to find. I've got myself a good amount of sand, and honestly, it's best just to pick a direction. Ooh, already, a statue. And that is so far away. That's kind of daunting from here, actually. So much of the desert is kind of mostly flat, wavy ground, but just a giant monolith out in the distance there. It actually reminds me of Doom Eternal, where you can see like the lumbering giants in the background. I don't actually know if this does anything. I can always come back to this. I know where this is. Huh. Ooh, a tower. I wonder if it'll have something up there. By the way, these are definitely my pro gamer skills. I promise you, falling is all skill. It's about how you land. There we go. And nothing. Well, I'll take these. Ooh, that's something. Huh, an abandoned village. You know, I should try out a Pokeball. I don't know if I'm going to be able to nail this shot because I think the third-person camera is slightly off-center. Anyway, I think these work on any entity, even modded entities, so... Ooh, a temple. I probably shouldn't drop, should I? Ooh, gunpowder. Damn. Well, I already have horse armor. But I'll take it if I can fit it. Ooh, another musket upgrade. At some point I'll have to use that, actually, because you can also make muskets, including a scoped musket, so I'll have to figure that out. To To be honest, it'd be great if there was a way to use TNT in, solo. Like, it'd be great if the blast furnace actually ran on TNT. Like a specialized furnace that would use a specific type of fuel that would basically mirror lava, how a lava bucket can cook like 100 items or like a whole stack. But there's not many there's not many things that can, cook like that. And lava is very, very dangerous. Ooh, well that's interesting. Is that like a... I don't know what that is. And whatever that is. I think I see blocks up there. I'm going to try to get that. I already probably have enough lapis. Ooh, emerald. It's probably about time to move on and head back. But I'm just going to check at this other place over there first. There we go. I actually haven't seen those before. I wonder if they work like tridents. Oh, I definitely need to head back. I can't carry anything else. Is there... No. By the way, after the fact, I noticed that I actually already had a pile of gold. And the reason why I didn't put it on the other pile of gold is because I am, in fact, an idiot. This is why paying attention is important. While editing this, I was reminded of the square hole video. For anyone who knows what I'm talking about. Or maybe it should remind me of political campaign promises. Oh wait, what did I just see? Huh, there's an island up there in the sky. Well, I have no idea how I'm going to get that. Maybe I'll find that later. Anyway, at this point, it was time to head back and start working on the aquarium. I had the sand and an array of loot that did not include that one metal ingot. Pay your respects in the comments for the metal ingot. I'm thinking about putting polished deep slate on the bottom of the tank. Although I could do brick. Well, it looks like we have a tourist. I was also going to try to make an ancient sword. Unfortunately, I did not have the right type of relic scrap. I miss that iron ingot more and more every day. Yes? I think I hear death calling me. Well, that's unfortunate. Hello, Death, my old friend. I've come to chat with you again. Ow. He even got my dog. And the weather's upset, too. Well, that was dramatic. The creeper hole reminded me I still have something to do, so let's get started on the aquarium. Well, I was going to need a main material for the shell of the aquarium anyway, so while we're here, I was thinking deep slate, since I have that in abundance now. And it's a nice dark color, not too distracting. And I decided to finally invest in a diamond shovel. Well, it looks like the base layer is looking nice. Remember, all of this is going to have sand in it. This is basically just a container for the sand that was totally unnecessary. We already have a visitor in the background, too. Ooh, Spinosaurus. Although I don't think I'm ready for that one yet. I think before I get to any big carnivores, I'm probably going to want to do other stuff first. So maybe like the next thing I'll do is like a herbivore. Yeah, something that has less chance to kill me and more chance to die of starvation. See, even my dog agrees with me. Well, the glass is finally all cooked. So now we can start working more on the aquarium. If I turn it into panes, I might only need 2 stacks. Was that a creeper? Oh, no, that's just a pig. I swear, if I get a 3rd creeper in a row, there's something going on. It's starting to look good. So anyway, I thought the aquarium was looking quite nice indeed. And now it was time to put it in the water. This has been my first aquarium ever in Minecraft. I have never made an aquarium in Minecraft. That will be obvious in a minute. Because if you didn't know, it just so happens that panes are a water source block. Which means that now I wouldn't be able to make the whole aquarium unless I used full glass blocks. And this was after building the aquarium that I realized this. So the only thing left to do was replace all of the glass blocks one by one. So, while I made even more glass, it also turns out we had some dinosaur embryos. And I decided to put a stegosaurus in the cultivator so we could just have an egg on hand for future episodes. I also didn't want it to be a flat sandbank, so I decided to make it a little bit higher in some areas. With the sand bed done, it was time to move on. And now it's time to get the decorations for it, so that the fish could be happy. And for this, some of what I was going to be using was clay. And a bit of stone, to simulate a kind of riverbed for my fish. However, come nighttime, everything was quite dark. So as an alternative to glowstone, I decided to use shroom light, plus it looks a little bit more organic. And I also decided to increase the height of some of the grass. And finally use the eggs for the fish that we were used this aquarium for. And I also had Pokeballs in case I would like to move my creatures to the desert dimension if I wanted to start a base there. I also decided to go down to the riverbank and get some friends for my fish, so that they could be a little bit, so that the environment in there could be a little bit more filled. However, then I realized that I couldn't see through the glass well, so I decided to take a quick break and install a mod that would let me see through the glass much better. Yeah, this looks much better now, although I haven't added the shroom lights yet. Let's do that. I only had 2 right now, but I could always get more later. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. I think I did quite nice, especially for my first aquarium. Although I am interested in your opinion, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked this video. But I'm going to end it here. So, see you in the next one.